I mean,
Oh.
you guys would definitely chat about what the next plan is. You know, what to do next.
You guys like
Esmeralda's sitting around. She's sitting at a you know, at a chair, kind of sharpening her daggers. She's sharpening her rapier. She's polishing her hand crossbow, making sure it looks good. She says, "Well, we've got quite a bit of options, don't we? What's our next step?"
anyone feel super strongly about anything? Like, gotta go find this kid. He's been gone for a long time in this werewolf's den. We should probably go that way.
Well, I have been hunting these werewolves. I can certainly lead us in the right direction.
We can go get the kid.
What are the chances that he's still alive? It's been like 5 days or something, at least.
These werewolves, they're tricky folk. They tend to play with their prey. And again, we don't quite know why they're holding him. They could need him alive.
Uncle, you alright?
Yeah. I don't really care. I mean, I doubt he's alive, but if you want to go there, that's fine.
We got
as well.
the use that we needed out of all that stuff that we found in the house before we get going. Can you find a bunch of stuff?
What?
Like all the stuff that we found in the house? Has everyone got what they need out of that? What we can use?
Was I working to identify that stuff? Like,
I think you
during
did
that last...
already.
I believe you already did. Yeah, you already did.
Because you have the bracelet. I don't know if
I think I got.
them.
Yeah, the bracelet of the warding.
I put pictures of them in, or at least of what the bracelet was. Well, that's good, right? You should. I thought you were already streaming, right? Oh. Hey, chat. What up, chat? So yeah, you found. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the bracelet of warding. You've got this amulet of Knight's Passage. That's a key to something. And then you have the Rapier of Moonlight. So yeah, you've got it. You've discovered it all. Of those items that you have.
I do not have that in my inventory. Let's see.
Amulet?
So I just have amulet, but like for rapier, I don't have the Rapier of Moonlight.
Let me work on adding it for you.
I do have the bracelet of warding.
Oh, cool.
You took that rapier because you were using it. Like, you just didn't attune.
Do you have it, Ikenna, equipped? Like it's in your stuff? Okay.
Oh, you have it in your inventory?
And then, so the amulet, should that be like in my inventory, it's just amulet. And
yeah, I'm gonna rename it and.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make it easy and rename it to Amulet of Knight's Warding, just so we know that it's special in some manner. It's called Knight's Warding. Knight's Passage. Okay, if you refresh, the name will be changed. Esmeralda's. Well, if we intend to save the boy, I believe our first step of action should be to head back to my wagon at Lake Paratalk to retrieve some supplies.
Your wagon, the one that exploded?
She slams her fist on the table. She's like, yes, that one. Well, that's fine. Got a secret stash over there, too. Just in case someone would tamper with it. So, if you don't mind, we could head back there by the tower and grab some things that we might need. She says, specifically, I've got a couple spell scrolls that could be helpful. Some silvered crossbow bolts, I believe. I think I've got a spyglass there to help keep watch. Is it alright if we head there first?
No, why not?
First.
Excellent. She says, well, I'm going to turn in for the night. First light, we should get moving.
Right.
And she goes to bed. No, I go to bed.
Oh, I go to bed.
Let's see. Travel time calculator. Argenfast Holt. To go to Lake Baratok.
Any guess who fixed the printer?
Did you fix the printer, dear?
It's working.
Which one? Which printer?
A much better guess.
Which printer, dear?
Matilda. I'm not fucking with the resin one. I need Tyler or you or everybody. That thing.
Well,
But it's printing.
I'm so happy that you tended to your hobby, babe.
I tried. Took forever. Alright, what are we doing? Going to bed?
Yeah, I mean, so she went to bed. You guys can do whatever. If you guys don't want to go to bed, we can just go straight to the morning. It's about a 2-hour walk from, or a 2-hour trek from Argenfast Holt to the area that she needs to be, which is by the tower, the old wizard's tower, and Lake Baratok.
Yeah, I guess. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Okay. Let's go ahead and fetch y'all over here to the main screen. Find my lay of the land map. I'll be back. Oh
I was
boy.
gonna ask.
Okay.
I'll set the timer.
Say what you will
You're-
about McKenna, but god damn it if he isn't regular.
You're being timed, Ikenna.
You see that little, well, I guess I don't know what you can see on his screen, but it's very close.
Yes.
You guys are. There's the tower, right by the lake, right on the lake. She said, on her way on the track, she says, "All right, well, I need to sneak in, grab a couple of my things. I think that, secondly, we should set up camp in the hollow and wait until nightfall for the werewolf pack to exit the den and hunt once we make it there. And third, once the werewolf pack has left the den, we should then infiltrate the werewolf den to rescue Ilya from his captivity. Thoughts?
And are they nocturnal? They come out at night.
She says, well, they're nocturnal. They come out at night, and they typically would hunt at night. I believe we should see less numbers and less people to deal with at night once they exit. They would typically leave a few people back, I believe, based on what I've been following, but it'll be much easier for us to handle.
If they're all sleeping, we can go in there and surprise them during the day, no?
Yes, but they do keep watch. I mean, if we go in there, they have numbers. Sure, we might kill a couple. They would wake up immediately and slaughter us.
I think we should
A
go
whole
after them.
pack of werewolves would be quite difficult to deal with.
I would like to not be slaughtered, so I think we should go at night.
Is there a way we can, like, lure more of them out of there, or, like, make sure they're not getting back in?
I don't know. Lure them out of there. I mean, what do you mean? If we wait until nightfall, they would typically go. Are you saying that try to lure even more out, the ones that are staying back? They typically leave the elderly back, the ones who can't do much. So we could certainly try. But I believe it could be enough. Well, it could be a small enough numbers for us to be able to handle.
Alright.
We can try. What do you propose?
I've got no ideas. Like, we normally rush into things, and then that doesn't go really well, and then, like, we plan stuff out, and sometimes that doesn't go well either, so I don't know. You're not in there. I don't care.
I say, as a monster hunter, I feel confident with this plan. I mean, I believe Sal would agree if he were mentally here.
What's wrong with Sal? He looks great. He did work last fight.
You just staring blankly ahead.
Al?
He's got some sort of anime emote over his head. I'm not sure what it is. You guys stop back by the tower. There's still ashes and old lumber and wood kind of blasted about from the wagon explosion. She curses under her breath a little bit as you guys walk by. And you see her approach the tower. She gets up to the side of it. You see her knock, try like she's looking for something, and she goes, "Ah, yes," and she pulls a brick and a small little opening, like a storm shelter, kind of opens up, going underneath the tower a little bit. Very small. But you see her rummage through. It's not even big enough for anyone to really go in there. It's more of just like a storage chest underneath it. And you see her kind of reach in and, yes, where is it? Yes, perfect, untouched. And she pulls out some items, and kind of like, she lays down a tarp on the ground and kind of like dumps out these items onto the tarp, out on display for everyone to see. Yes, this here is a spell scroll of major image in case we need a distraction. And she lays that down. Yes, a spell scroll of remove curse in case anyone's bitten. She lays that down. A spyglass. She lays that down to keep watch. And yes, and she lays down 10 silver crossbow bolts in case anyone needs to restock their quivers. So she lays down 10 crossbow bolts. She'll go ahead and lay down 10 regular silvered arrows as well. So options for both. Okay. I don't think anyone else has crossbow, so I'll go ahead and
I have a-
add. Do you have one?
I do, but I have crossbow bolts that I haven't used. Silver bolts.
Are they silvered? Oh, okay.
Yep.
As I say, Sal has 16 of them. How many do you have?
I have 30.
Okay, we'll just give them to Sal then.
There's like a drop down under there where you can like customize your weapon stuff.
I didn't know
Does
that.
it? Hang on. I don't have crossbow bolts, but like I did it with my hang on. Inventory.
I'm going onto your page. Kinda
Like
inventory, arrows.
where you said where you click on the weapon or whatever, hit customize, and then you can select silvered.
Oh, I don't even see that.
Is it only on weapons, not bolts?
Yeah, it might just be under. Okay, it's just the weapons. So just go ahead and make a custom item. Yeah, there might be an item. Actually, just double check. Let's check. I'll look. Because Kevin's got it, and I don't think he customized it, so silvered.
And Dunk will grab the spyglass.
Absolutely. Go ahead and add a spyglass.
BRB.
Arrows.
What was what were the scrolls again? One was.
1 second here. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay.
Ken, I'm just making a custom item, called silvered arrows for you, and I'll make 10 of them. Yeah, you're good. Well, here I'll do arrows, comma silvered, so that it shows at the top. But I think it goes by alphabetical order. Oh my god. It was a spell scroll of remove curse.
Okay.
So someone gets bitten.
Mm-hmm.
And then a spell scroll of major image in case you need a distraction.
I will take the spell scroll of major image.
Sure, that should be a real item you can probably look and find and add it to your inventory. Should be at least. If not, if you can't find it, I can add something. Okay, well that leaves the spell scroll of remove curse. Would anyone like that?
And I can't use it.
I will take that one too.
Wonderful.
I don't know how to find them.
So, alright, let me look. I think it's weird, like, I think spell scrolls are I think the item is just called spell scroll.
Well, that's
But
what's coming up. So if I put spell scroll, then it just comes up like
level.
Cantrip, first level, second level.
Okay, so remove curse is a 3rd level spell, so I'll add spell scroll. Third level. It's got 1 charge. I'll customize it. I'll make its name spell scroll of curse. Let me add.
You can a round 2. Did you say no or let's go?
He said no.
Go.
Ready? Guess what?
What? Tell me something good.
Amber went to the GalaxyCon burlesque show.
Oh.
She said that she could not take pictures because it was way too insane, and we should definitely go next time.
Okay. That's funny.
Yep. We always
Yeah,
wanted to.
Okay, Alex, I added the 2 items for you.
It would probably. Wait,
Mhm.
we're streaming. Yeah, let me know when you're paused.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
So she lays those out, and while you guys are kind of looking at those items, she's back in her stash, kind of like looking through. She sounds shocked. She says, "What? Someone's been inside somehow and stolen several of my belongings." She says, "I'm missing things. There's 2 spell scrolls that are missing, a lyre and 3 vials of perfume. I just don't understand." Does anyone have a passive perception of 12 or higher?
Yes.
Nope.
No, I do not.
Definitely.
Dunkel, you notice the faint sound of music. Okay, Dunkel and Gavin, you notice the faint sound of music emanating from the far side of the tower, the other side of the tower, while she's talking. Dunkel and Gavin, feel free to make a survival check.
Oh my. How's a 12 do?
We'll see. $14 was my DC. Gavin, so you both get the music, but Gavin, you notice and identify a recent set of footprints leading from the stash that you're at over to the source of the music. You think that they were left probably no longer than an hour ago. there are footprints, and you see them. They're going from the stash that she's looking through, saying that she thinks someone's stolen some of her stuff, and they are heading. They are kind of tracking towards the music. Very good.
Music.
Where? And I look for footprints.
You see them now that he points them out.
And I make out what type of footprints they are.
They are humanoid. They look like they look like human-sized footprints, maybe a little smaller. So like you think maybe like a smaller humanoid, whether that be elf or even just like a female.
Okay. Does it look like a shoe or like a footprint?
Yeah, like boot prints.
What size?
Women's size 8.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm done with the elk.
The fucking shoes.
What do you do?
You guys want to follow it, or does this mean that much to you, Esmeralda, or should we just let it go?
It's my things. I'd like them back, very much so. I'm on my way.
It's a pretty big footprint. It's like 2 of mine.
It's pretty normal.
Templar, are you a women's size 4?
I look down. I'm a gnome size 10 and a half. I put my foot in the footprint to like show the overlapping of the footprint.
And sure enough, 2 of them. 2 could fit. Yeah, absolutely.
Looks pretty big,
He says,
right?
Esmeralda says, well, come on then. And she starts making her way around the tower.
What type of music is it that I hear?
It's like a no, it is
Not exactly reggae, but all right.
It is a reggae band.
that sounds like it is a lyre.
Okay.
So like a stringed instrument.
So like a reggae,
What?
like reggae music.
It is like a haunting lament.
Oh,
So like beautifully sung and very very slow and like almost like a lullaby, but like a haunting lullaby, like kind of like some sharp and flat tones in there, and you hear singing to kind of go along with it as you're approaching. She sings, "Hear, O stars, my yearning plea, to feel his arms upon me. Lost beneath the starlit sea, his light it waits, haunting me. Draw his whispers close to me, that in his shade I might see. Heed his call. Ooh." As you're kind of like turning the corner and hearing this beautifully haunting song, you see a woman sitting alone on the rocky shore overlooking the lake, clad in finely sewn animal skins, cradling a lyre in her arms that she's playing. Her hair is a pale, lustrous white that cascades over her shoulders, and her eyes rest closed as she plucks the lyre strings. A haunting refrain parts her lips as her body gently sways back and forth, her song continuing without acknowledgement for your approach. As you get even closer, you guys spot 2 spell scrolls and 3 vials of perfume sitting on a rock next to her. One of the vials has been uncorked, but seems otherwise unused. She continues singing. Near enough, her amber eye gleams. My feet betray the better of me. A silver-lit path that wanders my dreams, his shadowed gaze shall guide me, ever on. Run, leap, still he flees. But now the skies around us, we're soaring, falling. And then she repeats the line, don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. And she keeps going. I've got a picture here. I can... Game relevant information. You guys are getting closer now. Esmeralda says, "Oi! Those are my things." She looks up with surprise, and you see like a warm, kind look on her face. She goes, "Oh, are you the owner of that destroyed wagon and the stash of things beside the tower?" Esmeralda looks at her and says, "Hey, yes, those were mine." The woman, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be a thief. I was just curious. My name is Bianca. I'm an herbalist. I live in the woods nearby with my husband, Kiro." I saw the wagon's remains, and I was curious, and I was kind of just snooping about, and I came across this hidden stash, and I investigated. I took a look, and I'm sorry. I took the lyre because the lyre and the perfume. It reminded me of some memories that I had from long ago, from before I met my husband. And I took the scrolls because I've always been fascinated by books, but I couldn't really decipher these ones. Sorry. Esmeralda looks at you all and she says, or it looks at her, and says, "Well, I suppose it's fine if I can just have them back. It was quite the song you were singing, quite beautiful." She says, Bianca, the woman who introduced herself as Bianca says, "Oh, yes. It's called The Lunatic's Lament. It's a beautiful song. It's about a woman who falls in love with the moon and chases it off a cliff, ultimately falling to her death." And she kind of like looks off into the distance. She adds, "Have you ever fallen in love with someone and then wondered if you made a mistake?" She looks at you all.
I look at her and I say, "Actually, it's all I've been searching for." And I like stick my hand out and then I cast polymorph.
Okay. What do you do?
I attempt to transform her into a turtle.
Into a what?
Go.
You said a circle?
A
A
turtle.
Oh, a turtle. Gotcha.
It's only funny because I had to deal with this before.
It's what?
It's only funny because I had to deal with this for months.
Oh. Gotcha. Yeah, it should be a fun way to play. Let's see.
I'm not going to let you talk me out of these things like I would have a couple months ago. Like when you're like, "Wow, you guys are bullying this little metal man." Oh wow! And then he threw you down 100 flights of stairs.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to find her stats real quick. What's the DC? It's wisdom, right?
It is wisdom, 15.
Okay. Alright, no modifier on this, so it's just a straight roll. Okay, yeah, there's a turtle with a lyre sitting right there next to her in the perfume. Esmeralda says, well, what did you do that for?
I walk over and I like very gingerly place my foot on the turtle's shell, as to like not damage the turtle. And I look over at Esmeralda and I say, I didn't trust her. She's a liar. She started by
How do
stealing
you
your
know?
things. She started by stealing your things and then led on with some crazy rant.
Well, she was giving them back.
But she said she was curious, but I wouldn't just go in somebody's stuff that I found unless I was intentionally taking it.
Right, and then why did she only take some of your shit and like leave the other stuff? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, we should definitely not trust her because of that, that's for sure.
It's probably better that she's a turtle in this world anyways, right? Like you don't have to worry about Strahd, or that might be the solution to a lot of this.
Yeah, well, that's fine by me. Shall we press on?
I want to keep her safe for a little while. Give me a minute. I want to see if I can see if anything else fishy is going on. And I cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Yeah, you, are you doing it as a ritual for 10 minutes?
Yes.
Great. You spend 10 minutes, you get the spell off, and you break concentration of the polymorph, and she turns back into herself. And she goes, what the? Why did you? What that? Why did you do that?
So, did Detect Magic cast?
Detect magic casted.
Did I notice anything?
You don't. Yeah, no, you don't see anything like pinging magic wise in your area where you're standing right now for sure. Other than like the spell scrolls are pinging like the school of magic associated with the spells that are on them.
But like her like instrument or like nothing else was.
No, the lyre is not pinging any kind of magic. It's just an instrument. The
I
let me check something real quick. Check the perfume. 1 second. Yeah, no, the perfume isn't pinging anything either.
I look at her and I say, I don't trust you, and if you ever take anything from my party again, I'll turn you into a turtle again and leave you that way forever.
I said I was sorry.
I didn't accept your apology. It's as simple as that.
I understand. Here's your things. And she scoots them towards Esmeralda, and Esmeralda takes them. Um, she pushes them, back to you guys. She says, "I know you don't owe me anything." And she's looking at Esmeralda. She says, "Is it okay if I keep the lyre? It's been so long since I've been able to play real music." Esmeralda like sighs and looks at you guys and kind of shrugs her shoulders, like asking you guys what you think.
Oh, that instrument used to belong to you?
Yeah, but I don't play it.
Who gives a shit, right? What? You don't want it? Give it to her.
She says, "Thank you." And she, well, it was nice meeting you. And she says, "Bye." And she departs for the northern path away from the lake and starts walking away.
Wait, know anything about an Amber Temple?
Are you yelling after her?
Yeah.
Oh, she turns and says, "Oh, no, I'm sorry, I don't."
Alright. Yeah.
Okay, bye. And the world's awkwardest interaction comes to an end, and she continues on her way. Esmeralda says, "Well, that was weird. Strong magic, sir." She goes for a high five with you, Dunkel.
I like not excited about the high five, just like put my hand up and like accept it.
She gives a solid one. 6 out of 10 high five. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Um,
No
we're not
red
talking
ball.
Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine or anything. Esmeralda says, "Well, we should stake out the den until the pack has departed for the night. We should then move quickly to determine whether Ilya is imprisoned inside. Hattie, I know that you suggested a direct assault. I strongly recommend against that. Again, challenging a pack of nearly a dozen werewolves and half as many ordinary wolves would be a fool's errand at best, suicidal at worst. I do believe my plan is the strongest if you care to follow. Again, very open to suggestions. You're all validated."
I'm good with whatever. Let's just get this over with.
Esmeralda, she nods. She leads you. She leads you to the brink of a small hollow. In the Svalich woods to the west of Lake Baratok. A natural depression is in the forest floor where you are. Its edges are framed by towering trees, their black trunks framing glimpses of Lake Baratok's rocky shore. Mount Baratok looms above the landscape in the distance. Its cliffs and rocky spurs are stark gray against the darkened treetops. The ground at the base of the hollow is covered by a thin shroud of mist over a blanket of fallen leaves and moss. On its northern side, an intricate network of large, gnarled tree roots create an arced, cave-like structure. The air is cool and damp here, carrying the earthy scent of wet soil and decaying leaves, and the hollow itself is silent, except for the faint rustling of leaves and the distant lapping of water against the shores. Esmeralda sighs. "All right, we can stay hidden within the hollow here and use it as a vantage point from which to watch the werewolves' den." She then points out to the lake's northwestern shore. Says, "There it is, the entrance to the den."
Any like back entrance or
So, um,
anything? Just the one front entrance?
far as I know, it's at one entrance. And as she's pointing at it, it's like above the tree line, carved into the side of a rocky mountain spur, is a wide, torchlit cave that looks like the gaping maw of a great wolf. So, very, very straightforward and obvious, nothing like super hidden. Upon descending into the hollow, she looks at you guys. She says, "Well, it's quite a stakeout. We should gather firewood and kindling, and then create a small campfire. Stay warm. Could anyone gather some firewood and kindling?"
Or why not? Don't
Oh,
we
yeah.
want
Anyone who wants
some?
to can roll a anyone can roll a survival check. See if you get any.
hang on.
Ooh, I got a 17.
Oh, Val, yeah, you
Great firewood.
what's that?
That Val is great at firewood.
Very
Yeah,
good
holy
at firewood.
Survival.
Yeah, survival.
Dirty 20.
Dunkle's also good at finding firewood,
Just
I'm
a
not good
bunch
at
of-
firewood.
except your firewood's more like kindling.
I was just gonna say tons of kindling, tons of it.
Tons of little tiny sticks. Ooh. A bead of sweat's dripping down Dunkle's face. Holy shit! Why is everyone good at getting firewood? Okay. These narrative rolls. Let's everyone.
What does the DM do now?
Holy shit! Yeah, you guys just destroy. Getting this small campfire has been created. Esmeralda pulls out a small flint and steel from her satchel. Let's see. Uncle, how long does one sec, check something. Okay. Dunkel, it was a really quick walk over here. Your detect magic is still a little bit active. She pulls out this flint and steel. It pings a little bit. It looks like it's a magical item to you. You can't quite tell the school of magic though.
You said it's
and she.
what steel?
It's what?
It's what steel?
It's flint and steel. A flint and steel.
Got it.
Like a fire starter.
Yeah.
And she starts lighting the fire with it. And a small but cheery campfire beneath the cavern of roots is created.
Can I see that?
She says, "Oh, this?"
Yeah, that.
She says, "Yeah, this is my furtive fire starter. Here you go." And she hands it over to you. She describes what it does. She says, and Dunkel, as you're looking at it, it's a finely crafted set of flint and steel, and that it bears small runes etched along the sides of both pieces. She says, "You can light a fire with this. It sheds no dim light and produces no smoke when you use it. And then watch this." She says, "Peace." And as she says that word, the flame extinguishes. She says, "Pretty cool, huh?" She goes over and lights it again. So you guys have this campfire with no smoke, and the light doesn't. So like when I say it sheds no dim light, so it only is illuminating, the area around you. So it does not. The light does not extend beyond the edges of the hollow. So if you were, outside of that light in the hollow, you couldn't even see that it was lit. She says, "Remember, werewolves can see in the dark." She says, "Should we be unlucky enough for them to find us?" And she grins, "We want to nullify every advantage we get.
Where did you get this?
Oh, I've had it for years, along my travels. She says, I think I can't quite remember. I killed some sort of beast to get this. It's been quite a while. She says, tell you what, if we get what we're looking for here, you're more than welcome to have it.
I'll take you up on that, thanks.
She grins. She says, all right, well, we should station one person on the edge of the hollow to watch for the pack's departure. What do you think? Maybe rotating shifts once per hour to avoid fatigue?
You want someone that can see in the dark, right?
She says,
I can't
certainly.
see in the light.
I can cast a dark vision spell, though I prefer to avoid spending my spell slots without cause. Might need them to fight the werewolves. But can anyone see naturally in the dark?
Al definitely can.
Sal can. Sal says, well, I can. And he,
No, I
goes
said
and
I
does
cannot.
it. I was gonna say, okay. That's like that's Dungeons and Dragons 101. Any single time dark vision's relevant, everyone with dark vision will tell the DM they have dark. I have dark vision. I have dark vision. What do I see? And he sets up post. He said, I think he probably just offers to watch the whole time at this point. Esmeralda thanks him. She says, Irina's with you as well. She also does not have dark vision. She guys, night falls, and Esmeralda, you guys are all kind of sitting around this small fire. She says, well, would anyone like to share stories about yourselves? She says, I could share a history of my own, after all. If we're to work together, I'd like to know who I'm fighting beside. We've already fought some great battles already. She says, well, I'll start. It was nearly 2 decades ago that I first saw him. My family was traveling with the Radanavich clan, Vistani caravan, when a Radanavich child fell deathly ill. The child's parents took him to a local doctor, a man by the name of Rudolf van Richten. Van Richten did all he could to keep the boy alive. 3 days later, however, he passed away. His father, a leader among the Radanaviches, blamed Van Richten for his child's death. That night, aided by 4 others, he stole into Van Richten's family home and kidnapped Van Richten's own son in vengeance. My parents awoke me at midnight, and we departed at once. It was only later that I learned what cargo we were carrying, and that my own parents had helped acquire him. Van Richten himself, desperate to rescue him, tracked our caravan down and bound my parents to a tree. After extracting his son's location, however, he departed, without shedding a drop of their blood, an act of mercy I have never forgotten. 10 years later, I ran from home, seeking to follow in Van Richten's footsteps. I found him a man changed, scarred, and haunted by the years that had passed. His kindness, however, had never faded, and he agreed to take me on as a student. I spent 2 years with him, learning all I could about monsters and how to fight them, before we ultimately parted ways. You see a darkened expression on Esmeralda's face. The night I departed his company, we exchanged harsh words. Words I'd prefer to forget. Even so, when I received his final letter, I came at once to Barovia, praying that he would not face Sarovich alone. She says, the boy, his name was Erasmus. I never learned of what became of him after that. Dr. Van Richten never wished to speak of it. Does anyone else have a story of their past? Maybe a story of their parents, their fathers, their mothers, or their fathers.
I've had a pretty boring life. I don't have many stories to tell.
Really? You seem like such an interesting person. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a university.
Oh, a university, and you say you lived a boring life. Oh, you've
Well, it
probably
was
got some wonderful stories.
not really, just a lot of work and school and studying, and I didn't really get to leave until recently. But I did
Completely
meet
understood.
some people who visited.
Anyone interesting?
I mean, not that I can think of. Not that I really understood who they were at the time.
Right. Sometimes we don't realize who's interesting until they've long gone. Very fair. What about you, Gavin? Any stories? Where do you come from? Oh, yes, indeed. Magic. Where did you learn magic? Who taught you? I've seen it in action. It's quite remarkable, really. And Dunkel, a man of the forest.
The Great
You surely
Dale,
have some interesting tales to.
specifically.
Wonderful, the Great Dale. You've probably got some wonderful stories to tell. Could you maybe tell us a story of your greatest danger in the Great Dale? Anything that caused alarm or terror or anything you had to overcome?
The greatest danger I ever faced. Well, I almost drowned in the Northern Creek by Venel.
Really? What happened?
Well, you see, I woke up one morning and I was talking to Vessel and Neville and Fluffle and Quaffle and Gubble and Bickle and Venel and Double and Tunkle and Double and Stubble and Rumple and Jubble and Fuddle and Wumble, Crumble and Fumble and Bubble. And then finally, Venel just had enough.
Really? What did he do?
He held me underwater in the Northern Creek.
He tossed you right in.
I wish he tossed me. That would have meant he left go.
Oh my goodness. What happened? How did you get out?
Well, he held me underwater. And then the next thing I remember, I was just coughing up water, and Dunkel Havenstash of the 71st was bopping him on the head.
My. Grave dangers indeed in the Great Dale. I shall be cautious and wary if I ever travel those lands, certainly.
Best of luck. How do you think you would get there from here?
What?
How do you think you would get there from here?
Through the mists, of course. Made my way in. Don't believe I can make my way out at this point.
How did you make your way in?
With the Vistani, of course. The Mistwalkers. but now that I'm here, it seems that I'm trapped, just like you all. Shall we rid this land of this curse? Eddie, you've been quiet.
Not one for stories?
You can either share one, or I can fill the silence with another if you'd like.
Or something you want to hear? Up, Gap. I don't really know. I just traveling around one day, and I mean, really, you guys were the first ones to see it. Well, Dunkel, and we were traveling with some other people, Sal, and we had this really big guy with us. They saw it happen, and I never knew that it did. I just would like black out in the middle of the night sometimes, and like have dreams about it, and I don't know. I guess I got bit at some point, and this is who I am now. It's not. I hope so. I've been trying to like talk to these people actually, like these werewolves, but they're kind of all assholes. Like I was hoping I'd be able to figure it out.
Well, you're not wrong, Hattie. Werewolves tend to be quite horrendous.
Yeah, but like it'd be
But it
kind of
seems
cool
as if you...
to control it, because like it's really powerful, and if I'm about to die, then I just turn into a bear, and so that's like not a bad thing. Like I'm not mad about it. I just don't want to hurt people.
It seems like
Which
you've had it under
sometimes
control for the
happens.
most part so far.
I mean, like kind of, but not really.
Yes, understood. Maybe it's worth having a gander and talking with some of them about it. Again, we'd have to find someone who wouldn't rip our throats out the second we asked them about it, but...
And like if we kill most of them, and like leave a couple of them and not die, then they'd have to tell us, right? There's got to be a way to
Certainly.
figure it out.
You can see. Yes, I unfortunately have spent my whole life killing these beasts, purging the land of their evils. I can't say I've spent much time trying to become one, or hone the skills. Sorry, I can't provide much help.
And why you think they're all bad?
That's just the nature of them, honestly. There's something with the curse that turns them for evil. There are good ones, like the Kreskovs, for the most part. People who seek this kind of power are genuinely not good people. Again, that's generalizing. Certainly are some good eggs out there. Again, the Kreskovs are some of the good ones, honestly. It was a year after I'd parted with Dr. Van Richten, and I felt as though no monster could challenge me. That's when I heard whispers of a beast known as the Black Terror. It was a werewolf that was the bane of several villages skirting the dark forest of Darken. I vowed to track it and put an end to its reign of terror. It took many nights of investigation and research, but I finally caught sight of this beast as the edge of a shadowed swamp. Its fangs stained red with the blood of its latest meal, and my heart raced as I watched it slip into the mists. No ordinary fog, but the veil that shrouds the worlds themselves. And I knew that if I failed to pursue it, I might be forced to begin my hunt anew. In my arrogance, I thought that I could handle what lay beyond. I was a Vistani, a born wanderer of the mists, and a student of Rudolf Van Richten himself. So I plunged ahead without a second thought, and the Black Terror ambushed me. Springing from the gloom with his claws and teeth, he tore off my leg below the knee, my bright blood staining his charcoal hide. He points down and points at her prosthetic leg. In that moment, I knew I would die, alone and powerless. Until Dmitri and Anna emerged from the woods, cold silver flashing in their hands, and the werewolf fled. And the Kreskovs brought me back to my home, or brought me back to their home, where they nursed me back to health, where I recovered, and they took me to Valaki. They took me to Valaki and commissioned the local toy maker, a brilliant man called Blinsky, to craft me a new leg. And to this day, this leg, when she knocks on it, this leg reminds me of the importance of caution and the dangers of unchecked zeal. That is why I approach these situations with caution and calculations. I owe the Kreskovs a debt that I can never repay. But finding Ilya and returning him home and safe and sound, that would be a start to the debt that I owe them. I'm not sure whether the Black Terror still lingers in Barovia. I very nearly hope he does. You see like this wry smile on her lips. You see her grip tightened around her silvered hand axe as she's sharpening it. I have a gift I'd like to give him. Well, any other stories?
Question. Is that like wolf that she was just talking about, or that black terror, like remind me of the vision that I got from the lake 1 year ago in real life?
What do you mean IRL?
Like in real life, so in November of 2023, Eddie got a vision, but that was like probably a week ago. But it was like of her being attacked by this giant wolf in mists that was kind of like a similar story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So not in real life. In Hattie's life.
In real life, a year, but in not real life.
No, I don't think that. I mean, I think that like hearing the story brings you back to that moment and remembering that dream, that vision. I don't think that you can quite discern whether it's the same wolf, if that makes sense. But it definitely like brings it back to your memory, to the forefront of your mind. So about an hour after nightfall, the night stirs as Sal, like, hey, over here, look. The night stirs as several large, dark shapes emerge from beneath the mountain crags. One among them towers above the others. Its bulky body easily twice the size of theirs. The pack turns south, then west, looping around the shoreline of Lake Veritok until its members vanish into the dark. Esmeralda says, okay, now's our chance. You ready? Okay. You guys, do you guys want to roll a stealth check on your way in? Approaching the den?
I actually would just like to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. Go for it. How many people does it affect? Anyone? Everyone?
A veil of shadows and silence radiates from me, masking me and my companions from detection. For the duration, each creature within 30 feet of me has plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and cannot be tracked except by magical means.
Nice. Yeah, everyone can just go ahead and roll with the plus 10 then. Or plus 10 on top of whatever their stealth modifier already is. Sal rolled
It'd be a 29 for me.
19. He's got like a billion.
Yeah. 23.
You're so silent with the shadows.
It's going to be a 12 for me.
Oh no.
We're all so quiet that your noise makes.
AKA Nat 1.
Oh no. 1906. 26. Sal got a 36. Or 35, I think. Wild. Okay. Again, you're silent as a group. Again, above the tree line carved into the side of the Rocky Mountain, you approach this wide, torchlit cave that looks like the gaping maw of a great wolf. An enormous beast's carcass lies crookedly across the bottom of the cliff beside the cave's mouth. It is an enormous elk.
No.
Easily as tall as two men that would be standing atop of each other's shoulders, and much of the flesh has been stripped from its bones. And its entire throat has been ripped away.
Oh.
Feel free to make a medicine check as you're looking at this elk as you approach.
I do a medicine check.
I got a nat 20 on
Go
a
for
medicine check.
I got a 10.
Okay. Hattie, you can see that the elk's throat was torn away by a single massive set of jaws, easily large enough to devour a humanoid's torso whole.
This was a giant ass fucking wolf, guys.
How long ago did it die?
How long ago did it die?
How do you think? Probably like last night, or
Probably last night.
Do I recognize this as the elf that I almost bonded with?
you do.
I weep.
I'm gonna
Roll for weep.
I'm
No,
gonna
you don't roll for weep.
10 for weep.
Can I use the
Oh
amulet?
God, you're weeping.
Dunkel's weeping. Wait,
Which
hang on.
amulet?
Dunkel, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna use my amulet of whatever.
It was like it's not gonna be alright.
I'm just gonna cast Gentle Repose, which means that it is gonna preserve the remains for 10 days, so that maybe we can
Okay.
bring him to the abbot or something. Like he'll be able to.
You have mummified this elk.
Yeah, like it'll be all right. Well, the abbot can do whatever, and we could just bring it there. After this, we'll bring the elk to the abbot.
I
Yeah?
look up and I wipe my tear-stained cheeks and I say, "Thank you, Hattie. You're right. You're right. He's gonna be okay."
I mean, like you were fine.
Yeah, that.
You were dead. So like it'll be
I
fine.
was this dead.
Basically, you had like 50 arrows in you.
I guess that's true. We still have to go kill that guy. We agreed as a party.
You are gonna kill him, but
Burn his
first we
city.
have to get into his. Well, we're actually going to get his son right now. Right? That's what we're doing.
Yes.
So we're heading back there. So that's actually perfect timing. Like we'll bring the elk to the town.
I'm still gonna kill him.
Yeah, but let's first get your elk back.
I might only have one chance into that town. It might be with his son over my shoulder.
Well, let's find out, right?
Sure.
So for the duration of this 10 days, this elk cannot become undead.
Yeah, 0 decay happening on this elk right now, or on this elk right now.
Perfect. All right, we going.
The open jaws of the wolf's head, the entrance, form a 15-foot high canopy of rock over the cave's mouth, held up by natural pillars of rock. The ceiling rises to a height of 20 feet inside the cave. Small clusters of amber light dot the walls, causing a faint glow across the cavern floor. Looks like these like glowing yellow fungus like illuminating the cave. Up ahead, the cave splits to the left and the right around it. You can hear the faint sound of trickling water going from the right side passage. Standing crouched on a 5-foot high ledge between the divide are two pharaoh-looking women wearing shredded clothing and clutching spears. They don't seem to notice them.
Sneak on by them. Oh, which direction, Donko? Which way you want to go? Or anyone? Esmeralda?
Could head towards the cave.
Right, it's just going in two directions, right? And if you're talking, I can't hear you.
I didn't say anything. I was actually wondering if we could talk without alerting people.
Yeah, I'd be careful about speaking because you'll potentially alert some people. Yeah, do you go left or right?
I think we look to Esmeralda. Or I look to Esmeralda.
Dunkel just starts walking left.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This area. There's a 5-foot high. Okay, so you go left. You're still in this cave. In front of you, there is a 5-foot high stone ledge that overlooks the large cave. So you're kind of looking up at this ledge, which has a smoldering campfire in the far west end of the cave, the part of the cave you're in, and the floor of the cave that you're in is covered with gnawed bones. And also in this cave, there is an old, scrawny wolf that lies curled up by the fire with its head turned away from you.
I walk up to the scrawny wolf.
As you kind of like tiptoe up, the wolf's breaths are shallow and slow, sending small puffs of steam into the chilly air. It's got dull gray fur. It's all matted and dirty. Its ribs are visible beneath its thin hide. Make a stealth check, Dunkel.
Do I still have plus 11?
I think so. I mean, I don't know how long the spell lasts.
It lasts for...
Probably a while. Up to an hour.
Up to an hour.
Concentration spell, so as long as you're concentrating on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, you're 16?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you're up near him. He still doesn't notice you. Again, you notice that he's like half asleep right now, almost like he's dozing.
I try to just like stick my silver dagger into the back of his head.
Okay. See. Okay. Make I guess like an attack roll with the dagger at advantage.
I don't have it. What?
Probably when you took all of our items off.
Oh yeah, that's it.
On it.
Yeah,
I
we're
put
good.
it for you.
I got it.
Okay.
11 to hit.
With advantage.
Yep.
Okay. You roll a d4.
I rolled a 3.
Okay. Okay. You put the dagger into the back of his head. Boom. Into you pierce it. Skin is surprisingly tough, hard to get through. You have to really push in. You push in. You've got the dagger in. He snaps his head upwards towards you with the dagger in the back. You see 3 swollen cuts that slice across his cheek. The edges is crusted with dried blood. His eyes milky white, unseeing, staring blankly ahead, its nostrils flaring, its scarred ears twitching rapidly as it sniffs the. It yelps as the dagger goes in the back of his head. I know you're trying to do this quietly, so I'm trying to think of the right roll to do here. Okay. Okay. And roll another d4. So the first one was a 3.
3.
Another 3, so 6. +1. So tell you what, I'll let you crit with that hit. So it's 7 damage with that silver dagger into him. He releases a sharp, piercing howl that echoes across the walls of the cave. And you hear commotion. You hear commotion from another part of the cave. So let's go ahead and roll. We'll roll initiative from the yelp that he gives, alerting another character.
Dunkel got 15.
Roll.
I also
So
got it.
what? Do it's 10:30. We're gonna kind of start some combat here. Do we want to start the combat next week, or do we want to keep playing? What do we want to do?
I'm
Right now is a natural break, but I mean we could. You
good
guys,
to
you guys
start.
want?
I'm good to start next week. I'm crashing.
Okay. Okay.